What is up, my friends? We are back at it again, creating more of your characters. As you can see here, we last left off on Lemonio. And we are now at, let's see the number, 64 completed SRHGs. Oh yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and continue some more here. We got Lucid up next. Let's get it going. What's up, Neptune? What up? I need to grab the randomizer. Bada bing, bada boom. Boop. A purple, huh? That's different. Purple it is then. All right. A soft purple for Lucid. Alrighty then. Let's see how. Let me get the chat open again, because I lost it. Oh, that's not it. It's right here somewhere. There we go. What's up, Neptune? What's up, Jacob? All right. I think we're just about ready to get going here. Mr. Guy! Hypnosis, perhaps? I don't like non-visual abilities. Keep that in mind, remember. Best we can. Psychological ability, possibly. I'm just gonna start doodling, see if we can have something pop out. All possibilities still. The hibachi? Rattle them, you're at a hibachi? Hibachi's fun. What's up, Timmy Pickle? Do I like this pose? Maybe. 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 Tina's streaming also? Nice. Let me call him Tina. Because I said Hatina once, and I was like, oh wait, Tina! Lucid. Lucid makes me also think of loose slid, like sliding. Could be meaningless, could be nothing. Is it late for you, Neptune? Should be. It's not too bad here. I'm looking around, I was looking down. All I see. We're just doing poses, man. Staying loose. Loose dream, flying, floaty. 11 p.m., that's a little later. Maybe. Chopping on some brownies. The Hobbit. Have fun. Have fun, sir. I kind of like this. Let's see if his face tells me something. Let's give him a face. Sometimes that helps me identify something about our character. Maybe human? Seemingly human. What's up, Donnie? What's up, Doe? Maybe a secondary motion something will give me an idea. Oh? I don't know what this means yet. I'm just doing stuff. Similar to Mio? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I kind of like this pose. I don't know why I like this pose yet, though. We'll see if I can figure something out. Don't really want to do wings. Claws? Maybe. I was watching the Saddam Sonic show. So it's Saddam. Satam. Claws for something, maybe? Saturday morning, okay. Claws for something, maybe? Maybe. What's up, Skelly Guy? Let's see if I can make a dent in this list. I don't know. You know what? A weapon I kind of want to bring back that I haven't seen in like forever is this one. Hold on. Give me a second. Oops. Sorry. Gotta stop having seeds without water. Sorry. I'll get there, I promise. Is that a little piece? Yeah, it is. Just gonna mess around with this for a second. I still don't know what it means. I'm in that early phase. Don't know what it means. Don't know if I'm using it. Can I do a multiplier here? Can I multiply these and make it cool somehow? Kind of like that. Really into Sonic cartoons? Club? No, these are like more of like a blade, kinda, but they make really cool trails. Let's see if I can flip it. I don't know what this means yet. You know, it's almost like a bug. In this way. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not leaning too much on the name yet. Platform creator, maybe? I don't know what I'm doing yet. Yo, shout out for those of you who joined on the Roller Coaster Dojo cast. Did you guys have fun with that one? I had fun. What if these go down? What do these look like if they're down? Our roller coaster event. I was at work. It was a fun one. Yeah, I don't know if I like them. I'm gonna go back to just this guy in my hand. Ooh, what if it's aiming downward? Two of them. No gravity floating. Like he always says, zero gravity. Zero gravity can be really boring to animate though, because it makes your attacks feel like nothing. Crow for Crow, what's up, buddy? I'm not a huge fan of no grav because it's really boring. You're just floating all the time, you know, and it kind of makes your hits look like you're fighting someone in your dreams. Wild Duck, you're doing some storyboarding. Nice, 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 nice. What if one's really long? Working on ref sheets. Okay. Oh no, it's lagging, friends. You see how it's like... Oh no. Hold on, let me see if it's gonna do it to me really bad. Okay, we're gonna close Flash. It's dying. It does this when it's gonna die, so I'm just getting ahead of it. Lucid, lucid, lucid. Lucid, lucid, lucid. Lucid. What's up? What's up, Gloopy? Doom, 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 doom. Okie dokie. This hopefully should not crash now. Let's see. A summon, maybe. Maybe if we get a maybe if we get a secondary thing going, it might trigger something. Maybe we can look at some of our other stuff. So we have floating stuff in the back as an option. Secondary, maybe something with his head. Oh, maybe this is headgear. Would these be cool if they were like on his, coming out of his head for some reason? I'm not sure. Whoa, that's kind of cool. That was an accident, but I like accidents. If I put it over here. So these could be static. It's part of his head, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's secondary motion yet. I can maybe push them further in, maybe bundle them up. Maybe it's a mohawk type thing? It's kind of cool. I don't know what this is yet. Maybe he's riding it. Wait a minute, what if it's a kite? The first ever kite RHG? And it's kind of like a pet? What if it's a... What if he has a pet kite? Is that real? Can we do that? Of course we can. I can do whatever I want. What if he has a pet kite? But it's like, what if the kite is like sentient? And he could like ride it, it could attack things for him. Maybe. Yeah, a little something to... I mean, it's a heavy task. There's a lot of secondary here. Having to animate the kite all the time, though. That might be awful. I don't know if I like that. That might be... It honestly might be awful to animate the kite all the time. Maybe not. I mean, it can be an object that you get to use to just, like, floating around with. I don't know that I've ever seen anyone with a kite character, though. That's for sure. A kite would definitely be unique. Is there any way I can make it powerful, though? Like, just saying it's sentient and that he could, like, ride it and it attacks and stuff is one thing. Is there something I can add to it that makes it a little bit more, like something else? Could be optional. Yeah, he could put it on his back. It's a shield kite. I like that. So it's like almost like a sentient shield. Like you can almost think of it as a sentient shield that flies. Definitely could be used for stabbing stuff. The tail could also be a weapon. It's almost like a whip / shield slicing weapon. Do I want the headgear? I don't know that I want the headgear anymore. I feel like the headgear does nothing. It's like random, you know? I don't feel like that's doing anything for us. He could paraglide with it too. His hair could be a sword spawner, maybe. See, like he could be paragliding with it too. Should this just be like the physical representation of him doing that? That might confuse it too much. Rissa revived an old RHG character I made a while ago. Now I'll have 2. Let's go! This still doesn't make me too excited yet. I like this visual though. This like thing behind him like this. Is that Lucid? It's something to do with kites. Does she like kites? Is kites part of her identity in some way? I feel kites. Kites or paper airplanes. Maybe it's paper. Maybe his thing is paper. Folding paper? Origami RHG? Kind of. Yeah, it's like a hang glider. That's what I'm getting hang glider vibes. Yeah, fighting with a kite would be really fun. And then you can second use it as a shield or a way to fly as well. You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling right now. What's up, OP? Trying to think, what can we add to the kite to make it a little more spicy? I don't think the back bling is needed. If we're showcasing the kite already, you can kind of think of that, use that creativity for something else. Maybe the other weapon is just the sword, like this. You know? This could just be one of those fan-based swords that I missed from back in the day. An old turquoise weapon. Oh yeah, this works because it's like a sword and a shield. It's like a sword and a shield on a string. It's like a sword and a shield on a string. You know? But the shield is also a weapon. Yeah, the graphite guy, exactly. Okay. Okay, I'm thinking, we're cooking. Okay. Something with hair. Alien, maybe? Oh, is it a gloopy? Oh, it's a gloopy! A gloopy! Yeah! We haven't had... Oh my god, it's the same pose, kinda! It's a gloopy! Okay. It's a boy gloopy. Maybe. Okay, okay. We haven't had a gloopy in a long time. Let's see, hold on here. I'm thinking. I'm using my thinking. Ooh. But if this gloopy has a slit instead of a ball for an eye? Does that fit the identity? I don't think so. Maybe the eye doesn't matter. Maybe the eye on a gloopy doesn't matter. Maybe it's the antennae that make it a gloopy. Gloopies are happy. Gloopies are happy by nature. Do I want to give it a tail though? A lot of secondary things you're already working with here. What if the kite is its tail? What if the kite is its tail? Wait a minute. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense though, because the color is so different. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a cool idea, but I'm just trying to like not have two secondary motions. But I kind of want the kite the same as the weapon, color-wise. Or maybe not. Maybe not because of the fact that his weapon is the color that it is there anyways. Let's just see what it feels like if the kite is like that. That's kind of cool. Now it's a lot more gloopy-like, and the tail makes sense. I'm thinking. I'm using my thinking. Trying to connect the tail here in a way that makes somewhat sense. Can that be fun? Does that make sense? Because it doesn't always need to be using it as a kite, but it can. We're just testing it out. I want to see how it tastes. What if it's a different color purple on the inside? It's a little too washed out, I think. Maybe we need to mash these ideas together a little closer. Now that it's the tail, maybe I need to lean into that as the first part of the idea. Instead of it being a kite first, maybe it needs to be a tail first that is a kite. You know what I mean? Tail first that's a kite. Let me see how this feels. What's a bark? And the tail can extend its length for the kite as well, you know what I mean? I think the tail would also need to go like this to the kite instead, so that it can connect properly like a kite would. Otherwise, it's not going to have the right flight properties. And then it still has the gloopy tail at the end, which is kind of like a weird shape. They got 100% go water skiing on it. Yep. I don't know yet. I don't know if this. Maybe this works. I still don't know how I feel about it because, like, honestly, animating a kite is pretty heavy. Maybe I lose the kite idea, but leave it gloopy. Like, the kite is cool, but don't get me wrong. It could be a pain in the butt to animate a kite all the time. That's like a big, heavy responsibility. You know, putting it on a shield is cool. I don't know, I could see things where like it's wearing it as a shield and then you like toss it and it like throws the character. That'd be sick too. You know what I mean? Like it's on its back, using it as a shield, and then it almost like throws it, and then it can like glide. What if it's on its back here? Yeah, lucid dreaming was my immediate thought too. I try to ignore the obvious first thought if I can, though, when it comes to something that's more obvious, if possible. You know, try to stay creative if I can. Because it could be another sleep guy, but I'm trying to see if I can not have to do that. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm getting hung up on the kite. Let's take a step back. Okay, the other Gloopy also has a blade. This one's a little more stylized to that like older style blade where the trail is like this. If you know, you know. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? I do feel like I want to keep this blade, though. I like the blade. Is there a blade shield combo again? But this shield is on the back hand. Something like that. Yeah, blade shield combo. Because this will look really cool when it's animated. Both of these things having trails. And they can form together to make scissors. Kind of like that. They would go together and cut. Chop, chop, chop. Maybe. That would mean holding it like this, though, I think. That kind of makes him like a bug, like he's got stingers. Interesting. That's a totally different take. That makes me think totally different. Let me see. Let's just see what it feels like. It's almost like Beedrill. Yeah, maybe it's two swords that can be put together like a kite, and you can fly with them. Like that. To do that, could we just make it a little more like that? We could do that. The stingers could work, but I feel like they'd be annoying to animate in that position. This is more fun, I think. I kind of like this. I kind of like this idea. I think we're getting there. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Now, what do these blades do, though? So these blades can become a shield or a kite to fly with. It's like a super mobile weapon. Kind of looks like a paper airplane. Kind of, yeah. I feel like animating this would be a lot of fun so far. Secondary motions on the antenna, because it's a Gloopy. The Gloopies have antennas. They're like alien demons. I don't know that I want to do a tail, though. That might be too much. I mean, the other Gloopy has it. We can do a tail on this one. I don't see why not. This is a really stylish fighter. Super stylish fighter. What do these blades do? I don't even know what to call these. I feel like they could be thinner. Like they can change shape. Like the Gloopy can... Oh! Okay. So the previous Gloopy could change the shape of this sword. This Gloopy should be able to do the same thing. And in that case, it's like this. And we don't have to worry about the color. And the what do you call it? The trails will still be the same. Yeah, moldable. Maybe Gloopy's things is that they have like transformative weapons. I don't want it to get too washed out on the character though, because I feel like it's gonna get washed out on the character. I think the color needs to be different. Yeah, the color has to be different, or it gets too washed out in this case. Because we have the tail going on as well, you know what I mean? Maybe that's Gloopy's specialty. They're like little like weapon magicians. Gloopies are like little alien smiths, but they are the thing that alters the weapon. If you're gonna pick it up, it's not gonna do anything different for you. It's just gonna be a solid state. Or maybe if you're not Gloopy, it just disappears. Like, it's their sentience that makes the Gloopy weapon. Maybe they're born with their Gloopy weapon. You know what I mean? Like, maybe every Gloopy, when it's born, it has like a special weapon ability. You know what I mean? It has like a special transformative weapon ability. And this Gloopy just so happens to be like these like blade-like swords that can change its shape. Like its general skewing of the weapon. So it could be a thin version of the same thing. They can combine together. Or they can turn into kites. Whenever an RSG character is made, a Gloopy gets his wings, yeah. Because Gloopy can use his wings too. We're getting close. I think they could be even a little bit thinner to start. Okay. The character's getting a little more reasonable in its weight now. But now I want to think of what kind of ability do these weapons have? Do they have a passive of some kind? I don't want to make it too heavy. We have two secondary motion things to worry about, the antennae and the tail. So if it's an effect, I want it to be somewhat simple that we can kind of like dance around with. You know what I mean? Trying to think. Gloopies are happy-go-friendly alien warriors. Happy-go-lucky, friendly alien warriors. They're not characterized by their eye, which they could be Cyclops or have two eyes, but rather their strange tail and their antenna. And maybe it's the combination of the tail and antenna that sends signals to their weapons that they can change shape with. Yeah, Gloopies are like bubbly, positive little alien demons. Now I want this Gloopy to have a special ability though, with his swords. I mean, them changing shape is pretty cool, but I almost feel like there needs to be like a secondary effect or something. I'm just drawing random stuff. I have no idea what this means. This reminds me of like bouncing. The blades themselves already like transform and stuff, so they don't need like any other abilities as far as like if they're buoyant or something. I'm thinking like an effect, like when they make impact, this happens, you know? We're really close. We're really close. Because you get so creative with these. You can combine them together. You can make one of them a shield. You can use them as kites. Like, you can go pretty crazy on it. I'm more so thinking of it like a hit effect, you know? Make it a fan. Yeah, you could absolutely could do that. You could stick them together, use them as propellers. You know? You'd be really creative with them. The trails would be a lot of fun. What's up, Penguin? I'm just trying to think. I feel like I'm missing one thing. I don't know what this means. Again, we're already kind of heavy with secondary motion and stuff, and you're animating 2 weapons as well. You could move them into one. That's not a big deal. You can change their size and shape, so you're okay there. I'm doing something. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm letting the universe speak to me through random doodles. It does. It looks springy. It feels like a spring. I don't think we need a spring, though. How's everyone doing tonight, man? We been chilling, been chilling. This is only our first one of the night. We've been chilling. I mean, my natural reaction is to add electricity to it. Is that OP? That might be OP. Bean chili, delicious. Tied together. No, that's a bit of a nightmare. It's adding more strings. We don't need more strings. Like, I want them to, like, I don't know, like create bubbles or something on impact. Is this maybe where we tie in the lucid dreaming? Lucid, tiredness, sleepiness. Its own unique spiral impact? Like a boing. They look like little styluses almost. What if... they like attach to the ground or something? Really good push pack, hence the spring impact. That might be kind of interesting, like they bounce back on impact. They like spring off. That would make it for an interesting cut, but I guess that's kind of just like execution of using the Gloopy. That comes down to like the style of how the Gloopy is animated, I guess. But I feel like we're close. I feel like you're onto something. I feel very flowy. Whatever it is very flowy. Like a cloud, like a purple cloud. Something, it's bubbly. Maybe the character is done. Maybe I'm doing too much. I don't know. No, I'm not. There's something. There is something. I don't know what it is, but there's something. We're missing one thing. The Gloopy, all Gloopies are bouncy. All Gloopies have transformative weapons. And they're transforming them using their tail and their antennae. That's how they like communicate with their transformative weapons. And they're very creative. Gloopies are creative. But I feel like there's something that this Gloopy's weapon does that has a hit effect. An on-hit effect. I was trying to think of a lucid aspect, you know, like they talk about like the sleeping impact Z's. Maybe. What do these Z's do? They cut. Let's see if I add a little bit of a glow to them. I almost think like these have like a black glow. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Gloopy sword. Okay. Now they feel kind of special. They feel kind of magical. Is that, well, when most people hit each other, especially in the face area, the main goal is to knock them out, putting them into sleep, hence disease, maybe. Luminous? Little shockwave hits, maybe? Does the light warrant anything? That's kind of a cool pose. Wait a minute. Again, I'm trying not to be like just adding electricity or something to it, because I feel like electricity feels so easy with this. Because you got like antennas and stuff, a stabby weapon, sharp tip. More Zers appear for the opponents, collide with them, and they make a cut. Collide with them, they cut and make them sleepy, maybe. That's a lot of like extra things though hanging around. If like the Z's are kind of just dancing there, the effect could just be pure light. That might be hard to illustrate with the effect. I mean, this Gloopy has a light around their eye. Maybe they also have some sort of like coreness, some sort of like core shiny thing. I don't know. Let's see. They're like light blades. It's kind of fun. They hit you with light? What would that look like, though? What's up, Flavio? Because that's similar to what Gloopy has here for the eye. Lucid sounds like acid and luminous effect. Are they poison light blades? Poison light blades? Almost like ones. They're luminous. Blinding. They could be blinding. Poison. Poison takes me a different route. Almost. The hit effects on this could be poison bubbles? No, we don't need to do that. I think this is kind of cool though. How can we tie in this like poison luminousness? This poison luminosity. Is there any way we can tie that in an effect that isn't overwhelming? Because right now, just how they are is super cool, and I could be able to move these around, these shines around, no problem, and it'll be interesting looking. I'm just trying to think, like, is there another way to illustrate? I think poison damage is awful when it comes to what we do as far as, like, illustrating damage over time on targets that are either seemingly one-shot or invincible is kind of weird. Unless there's some kind of, like, effect that we can showcase when it happens. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like a poison cloud or poison bubbles leaking something because it's like necrotic, you know? We could do something where you hit the target and they become necrotic. That might be too strong though. You know what I mean? Imagine getting struck by this, like, ding, 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 like, back to back, and then you just see, like, the arm, like, melt, like, parts of it melting. Maybe changing their body to a different color. Gears are turning hard. Something's happening. We're close, man. Bog did really well with his acidity, true. That's a great example of acid being done well. But right now we're animating 2 secondary motion things between the tails and the antennae. And we have 2 weapons. So I'm trying to think, whatever ability it is, it's not gonna be too heavy. Like, not too, like, effects heavy or, you know what I mean? Something that could be like a splash effect. Hold on. I have something that might work. I have an idea. A separate file I'm working on with JH from last year. I'm thinking there's something in this that is coming to mind. It's almost like this. But I think these are just hand animated sparks, yeah. Yeah, I almost imagine like a green glowing spark that it creates. You know? It's like it creates a green glow spark. When it hits. So you can like see that you're taking like this necrotic damage, you know? Hold on, let me see if I can get this in here. Yeah. This is a bit of a nightmare how I drew these sparks though. I can't really get to these things how I drew them. I was just like thinking out loud and I kind of trapped myself. Yeah, I did trap myself. See if I can deselect some of this. That's not bad. That's kind of weird. When I go to select this, I can't move it. Okay. No, we're okay. We're okay. Let's get this out of here. History's being made again. What's up, Heckbray? Okay. Add. I don't think we can do it here.
Okay.
Where? Do I do this then add? Maybe? Yeah. There we go. Then we can add the glow here. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Okay. I got my eyes on it since I wasn't there for Arishi, but now it's different. Yeah, yeah. Heck, were you there for the Dojo cast? Okay, I think Lucid's done. This is cool. Poison tipped. Poison tipped slicer. Two shape transforming blades. Tipped with, it's almost like a shocked poison. Shock poison damage. It's like, it like stings, you know? I wasn't in the last one? Okay. I was wondering if you heard some of the things in that episode. Because I elaborated a little bit more about everything that I have kind of going on. It's okay if you didn't. But your comment made me think that maybe it might be why. The music got great taste. This is funk or fonk. Copyright fonk. I find I like this playlist and it doesn't get me spanked from off YouTube. Okay, Lucid. 2 shape transforming blades tipped with shock poison damage. I think that's all we need. Yeah, Lucid's done. This is plenty. Another Gloopy. The second blue Gloopy. Another one is born. This is the Gloopy type. I don't know what they're called yet, but it's a Gloopy. Lucid, we need to decide, are they Ultra Necrozma? Ultra Necrozma? Ultra Savior or Neptune? What do you guys think? Ultra Savior or Neptune for Lucid? The two brothers. Ultra Savior or Neptune for Lucid? Gloopies are not evil. They're great warriors, but they're not evil. They're bubbly. Bubbly, joyous, alien demons. I would lean Savior on Gloopies. Unless there's somehow like an evil Gloopy that we make later. I don't see this one as an evil Gloopy. Yeah, this will be fun to animate. Alright, we got another Ultra Savior, it looks like. Another Ultra Savior! Let's go! Yeah, I gotta be Savior. That takes us back to even. 32-32. Could have argued that Neptune because he seems very chaotic. I agree, and the poison usually leads you to something that's kind of more negative. But Gloopies are just like, they're chill. They're like, they fight for fun, you know? That's how I see the Gloopy type. I don't know what they're called, because Gloopy is technically a different character, you know? It's not like it's species or creature type, but whatever Gloopy is, that's what Lucid is. Very good. Very good. So let's go ahead and export Lucid, throw it on the mountain. And so I can grab it later. We'll do that part later. All right, let's get Lucid on the board. Lucid is now joining the game. Lucid now exists in the universe. Congrats. There we go. Later, Heckray. Okay, on to our next one. Who is next? We have Yamaha. It immediately makes me think of the bike. The motorcycle company. Yamaha. Let's go ahead and get rid of everything. Start us over here. Start fresh. Oops. Let's not touch that background, though. There we go. Get our color randomizer. Here it is. We had a purple last time.
So you want to be a soft.
Now, a green. We like greens. We get greens. A tomahawk. That's interesting. A green. Okay. We've seen green before. Let me tell you. Yamaha was a piano company. It is also, I think. It is a very bright green. Let's just draw some shapes, getting us started. Okay. Is your duelist's eye color? Drawing shapes, drawing shapes. I don't want anything to be like god awful like this. I never want a character to literally be like this. It's awful. I don't want long torsos unless it's a heavy and everything kind of matches it, you know? Should I do it the rising pose? The floating to victory pose? Engine ability, maybe. Let's do some poses here. Punch, maybe. Boop. Boop. Little punch. Crossing arms. Don't know what that is. A driver character. Speed racer. Powering up, maybe? Motorbike. Vague sense of... They're all a vague sense of martial artists to some degree. They're all going to be fighting. So, like, I always hate to, like, include that as a detail because, like, the base level in my mind is, like, they're fighters unless stated otherwise, you know? So when it's, like, knows karate, it's like, okay, well, if they don't, it's going to be kind of weird. Or if they don't know how to fight anything, you know? It's kind of in a fighting-based system. Runs over their opponents. Maybe they have like a Tron bike thing. A simple transformation, maybe? I don't know that I've had any Transformers. Another action pose, maybe? Bird's eye attack. Torso's too big, I hate that. Favorite? He was doing a Fortnite dance from that pose? Dodging something, perhaps? Maybe? This is tough. Jumping over something? Jumping? It's interesting pose. Why would we do this, though? Interesting pose. Why would we do this, though? Let's see if we can get some any ideas from other characters. Maybe another species, a creature type that we could draw inspiration from. Overuse is kind of cool. Something with overuse seems... That's a lot to anime. Exhaust pipes that... Because I don't like doing shoulder things too much. Because there is really no shoulders to speak of. Alien? Is it alien? Make it like a walking engine? Grapple hooks. Maybe we're cooking with grapple hooks. Is there a way we could do grapple hooks? That makes sense? That's easier and more fun? Is there a fun way to do grapple hooks? To me, if he's got grapple hooks, he's like a shooter. You know what I mean? Like he's shooting it. He's got to hold on to it. I don't think we've done a grapple hook yet. Grapple hook hands, android maybe? Yamaha, another robot? Maybe. We could put Yamaha in the robot category somehow with this green. I wonder. Grappling hook without the gun. You can swing around some secondary. How can I make the grappling hook interesting? What does the grappling hook look like? Let's start there. Grappling hook. Okay. This is what grappling hooks look like. Sounds like a big fish hook, really. A wrist grappling hook? Is that interesting enough to animate? Do I feel like animating this? Does this entertain me? I don't know yet. It does remind me of a spider, though. Yeah, you could just shoot him out of his hand, maybe. I mean, that's very similar almost to Loonsar's net character. Is there a way to make the grappling hooks more interesting? Wait a minute. I mean, the grappling hook as a weapon doesn't look all that appetizing to me. I'm just trying to think. I almost wish it was like a spear tip. Yeah, like a harpoon feels better, I feel like. Hold on. I don't know how I feel about it. Again, still experimental phase. I'm making a weird shape. I don't know, man. I don't know. Claw machine, inverted grappling hook. For his other hand, like, I don't really like the idea of a grappling hook from the stand. Like, it's cool for like limited uses, but I don't know all the time that grapple hook is it. And I don't want to add. I don't want it to be like, well, grapple hook is one of his weapons. You know? Maybe I'm leaning too much into it. I think I'm leaning too far into it. I don't know that I like the grappling hook idea. Something's not there. It's a cool idea, but something's not not sticking with me. It doesn't feel very Yamaha for some reason. I can't explain it. That doesn't feel Yamaha. I think robot is a good route to go though, because, you know, it feels robotic in the name in some way. Either by car, feels machinist. Jetpack. We haven't had a jetpack guy in a minute. I think our last guy was Orange Hat. Comical falling pianos, yeah. Yo, what's up, Coaster? How you doing, buddy? I don't know yet. I feel like I haven't caught my, like, creative stride yet. You know what I mean? I keep wanting to draw this pose for some reason. I don't know why. It feels like a jumping or leaping pose. Rocket roller skates. I'm not a big fan of putting shoes on. Different instruments to fight. Like he plays a tube and attacks something out of that? Maybe. Then that requires like a lot of instrument usage and a lot of different objects. That can kind of busy pretty fast. Motorcycle wheels for feet. Makes movement kind of off. You know what I mean? Rocket propelled limbs, chains attached. I think we might be cooking. We do. How many chains people do we have? We got Spectre, Stevie. It sounds like an exciting name. That's why we keep drawing that pose. I think you're right. Wand. Okay, Wand is saying something to me. Wand is speaking to me. Why is it speaking to me? When you said Wand, something clicked. Do we got a Wizardary? Wand makes me feel something. You're making me feel something, Wand. What could the wand do? Is he casting a spell like that? Yeah, it's gonna have flavor. You gotta get something. What if let's take some chunks out of it. It's more wandy. More wandy, okay. It's a wand, not a staff. Cheeky magician, here we go. Maybe it's a flail. Needs a top hat. Maybe not a top hat. I don't want it to be big. I don't like putting things on the head that make it directional because it becomes a pain in the butt. I don't like drawing hats over and over again. It's bothersome. Car exhaust emits from the wand. That might be something. A bit arduous to animate without much value unless we give it a reason. What's up, Hanks? We're on to something, though. Something's happening. We're doing something. I don't know what it is, but we're doing something. Are they disposable ones? Is there a way that we can make them consumables? Does that make sense? Is there a way that we can make them consumables? You know what I mean? What if they're wands that only have one spell? How cool would that be? Hold on, wait a minute. What if they're wands that only have one spell? That's kind of cool. Is he a cactus? I don't know, maybe. I like the idea of having limited. Okay. Each wand has one spell. Yep, one spell. What is this? Oh no, are we lagging? Hold on. We might be lagging. Why is it like the hitbox is all weird on this thing? I don't like that. Hold on. Let's glow. Do I have a glow that I could just slap on here that I might like? Like the sparks? No. What about... Nope. Slash glow? Nope. Dude, why is like no glow showing? Hold on. Glow. Okay, it's lagging. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. I gotta reopen. We're lagging, friends. We're lagging. Who was that? Yamaha. I think they should be one-use wands. Okay, there's the glow that I was unable to see that I was doing. One-use spells. What could they be? Because I don't want it to be a bunch. Okay? Like, do you understand what I mean by that? I don't want it to be like, oh, you have to understand all the effects and all the different versions of like, I don't want any of that. I want it to be simple, you know? And not like it's just elements based. That's boring. It's gotta be fun or funny. Think fun or funny. Maybe they all have the same effect, but they do something different. Like one effect could be it changes something's size, right? But every one does like a random integer. Like it'll be big or small or, you know, something in between. What's a funny one-use spell? I like the idea that he's ripping him off of his back. What if... Wait, hold on. What if he's in Rajamation's alien species? Hold on. What if takedowns... Oh, I opened the old one. What if takedowns grant him more wands? Much like the antennas from Rajamation's species. Oh my god, and he's green! He's green! Different buffs. But see, the thing is the only thing I don't like about the different buffs ideas is that the audience is going to feel left out, like they don't know what all the buffs are. And you have to really clearly illustrate all the buffs. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense. And I could be like, oh my god, I don't want to know all these buffs. You know what I mean? I think if we can get away with it being simplistic in that part of it. Who says an alien can't be a magician? Lilio, thank you so much, buddy. Am I saying that right? No, it's Lilo. Lilo, what's up, buddy? Thank you. Fireball. He's got a single-use wand, but like we can do this. Is he a hedgehog? No. These wands are like growing out of his back. Making them trip. Because, like, do you see what I mean by, like, I like the idea that all the wands have, like, random effects, but you could get bored of that real quick. As dumb as that sounds, it's so vague. And the audience never knows what to expect. And that can be kind of bad in the sense that it's not leading the audience in any direction. You know what I mean? It's like every single attack has to be something different, or else you're like, oh man, what is happening? Could be fun, but also could be nightmarish. And you're always perpetually stuck in like, oh my god, what's the next like thing I could do? I do like the idea of a single-use wand though. It's like a disposable wand. Wait. Listen, Lisa, listen. Single-use wand. They all do the same thing. But multiple wands together amplify that same effect. So imagine he attacks, pulls out a wand, attacks, pulls out a wand, attacks. And like sticks them into the target or something. And then it amplifies the effect for the number of wands used. And then if he defeats the target, he spawns another wand. So he can meter how big of an impact he needs to have to take a foe down. You know what I mean? Like if it's a tough target, he might have to use 4, 5, 6 different wands to amplify the effect. And then the wands dissipate. The wands are coming out of his back, like the upper part of his chest or back, like at the base of his neck and down his back a little bit. But like, imagine if he was like sticking these wands in somebody, grabs another one, sticks another one, grabs another one, sticks another one in, like a delayed effect or something. And then since he used 3 wands, it's 3x the effect. Maybe it activates if he breaks the wand on them. Interesting. So we can like stick it into them and snap it. He's like a battle mage. Because I see it as like a melee weapon plus spell. But we gotta understand what the spell is to make it work. What is something, when amplified, would be more terrifying? Yeah, that would be so fun to animate. Because just imagine, like, I imagine him reaching back, grabbing a wand, doing whatever the action is, reaching back, grabbing another one, reaching back, grabbing another one. Any element? No. Yeah, I mean, any element would be amplified would be cool. Yeah. We're close. I like him a lot, and we're close. Maybe it's a delayed effect. Like they're either an activation or it's a delayed effect. You know what I mean? Like he casts a spell and he has time to amplify the attack. Maybe the opponent gets dizzy. That's kind of boring. It's hard to illustrate that. Maybe this one gonna have a poison effect. We did just do a poison effect one. What's something that's visually striking? Fire and lightning are visually striking. Ice I don't think fits. If we're looking at elements. But maybe it doesn't need to be an element. You know? Fireworks, that's gonna be a lot of work. And that's just fire. Fireworks is just fire. Rocks, earth, air. He looks like an Earth dude. Think so? Some kind of force? Plasma? Plasma is going to look like electricity, and it'll just be seen as electricity mostly. What's up, Gloopy? Gloopy, by the way, your character is now canonically part of a alien demon species, and it now has another entrance, another person. Lucid is also now considered what we affectionately called a Gloopy. So you have a culture, a creature type that is growing. Metal, What if it's a repeater? Yo, wait a minute. What if it's an effect repeater? Hear me out. Hear me out, hear me out. Yamaha throws a punch, steps back, pulls out 3 wands, and expends them. And then the person receives 3 punches in a row, the same way that they were delivered, but targeted at the opponent. It's repeater sticks. Kind of hard to visualize. It's an attack multiplier. Not how I see it in my head. Yamaha debuffs? No, it's like you throw a kick, jump backwards, and somehow I consume 3 wands. I don't know what I do. I don't know what that looks like. But then you see 3 kick trails hitting the target again. Even if the target is moving. It'll be the same pattern of attack, you know? You'll see a trail like this. Boom. Slacking or swiping at the target. He's both, if you think about it. If this is how we're treating it, he's both. Because he could run up, deliver a punch, right? Boom, I punch. Right? And it makes an impact. But then he can jump backwards and grab as many wands as he wants as that person's leaning back. And he pulls those wands out. And he might be at a safe distance. Right? Like this, if you can imagine that. And the target is stumbling back. And then you see another punch effect for the wands he pulled out. Yeah, but every time he defeats a character, he gets a wand back. So if he can do it without using too many wands, he could add more wands. You know what I mean? Like, he could beat people up without using any wands. None at all. And then just stack wands, and then he gets like a boss fight, and he's looking like a hedgehog, you know? He's like, all right, I'm ready. It also fits that identity of the Rajamation's culture of like, the more wands stacked on his back showcases that he's a brutal warrior. Yeah, every elimination or defeat, he gets it spawns another wand on his back. So he could look really, really sick, and he doesn't have to use his wands all the time. In combat, the longer combat goes with multiple targets, the more fun it might be. Because if you know you're halfway through the animation, he's already killed a bunch of people, and you just see him stacking stuff like gnarly on his back. Oh god, it's lagging again. Sorry guys, we have to close and open. What is the deal with my flash tonight, man? I gotta restart my computer or something. I won't do it right now, we're fine, but this is getting exciting. I would love this. Right? So now as a viewer, if you understand his mechanic, and it's a simple mechanic, and you see him because he's not using them, because let's just say they're dummies or whatever, and you start to see him and he starts to look gnarly like this, you know, like, oh my god, he can go hard on like a group of people. Like if there's a huge cluster of people, he could use 10 wands or something at the same time and like wreck a whole area. I think we're close. Okay, what if it doesn't repeat an attack? What if it repeats an ability? We give him one ability, and it's an ability repeater. So he's combo, 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 and he has one ability. He can use the ability, and then when he grabs the number of wands, it'll do that number of that ability to that target or target location. Example, I don't want to use this, but let's say there's like a small explosion ability that he does, right? He could toss one of the small explosions, and as it's on its way there, he can grab like 5 wands, and you see it just multiply into 5 different explosions. Sound Blast, I don't like sound as an ability. It's hard to draw. It's hard to draw sound. Sound is usually only like shown by like really high visual effects of like manipulating the environment around them, or just having people like cover their ears, you know? Metal bending? Nah. Imagine he has this like glowing star thing, right? And these glowing star things have some kind of effect. I don't know, right? I don't know what this glowing star effect is, but just imagine this is traveling towards the target, and then he grabs out 3 wands, and then it's like boom, boom, like this as it's heading towards them. We're close. We're so close. I love this idea, though. We're so close. I like these as amplifying sticks. They do some kind of magic, so he can cast this ability out of the stick, out of the wand, as well as use the wands as a melee weapon. But then, in some way, he establishes their power level by the number of wands he can choose to eliminate to empower the attack. And I don't even know what that looks like. That might be him just like grabbing them and then letting them go, and then maybe they like, you know, they disappear or something. Grabbing them, and you know, I think if they just disappear, like I honestly would just do, it'd be this easy. It would be a knockout. It would be like this. It would go. This is how I would animate it. It would be glowing bigger with more strength, and then it'd be a knockout, and then it would be like a thin knockout like that, and they disappear like that. That's how they'd be dispersed. But I guess there has to be some kind of delay, right? Because if he's going to decide how powerful something is by grabbing a number of the wands off his back, there has to be a delay. What if we use projectiles that twist the opponent's skin? That would be really hard to show. Spinning projectile, if it spins, is good. We're so close. I guess the distinction is, are these themselves the attack, or does something come out of them and he amplifies the attack by using the sticks? You know, like, is the attack him grabbing as many that he needs and then throwing them and they do something? Or is it he does something and then the secondary is he grabs the number that he wants to amplify? Like, I feel like that's what it is. I think he needs to have something else in his hand. I think he needs to have something else in his hand. These are the sticks that he's establishing the power to it. Okay, think of it this way. He's dual wielding. He has something in his right hand. There's something here. And this is what the attack is. This is the multiplier. This is it. We're there. Because he can do them at the same time now. At the same time, he can grab the wands with one hand out of his back while doing the attack with the other hand. I like to think of him as like a battle mage. Like a battle mage. You know what I mean? Maybe you can make spikes come out of the ground. That would be cool. The more wands he has, the more paths he can make for himself. A Nerf gun. It's either going to be something that shoots out something or a big weapon that has an effect when he lands a hit. Similarly to Rajamations. Spikes is a cool idea. Maybe he can cast magic with his hand and the wands make it his amplifier. How might that look like? I agree with you. What was the ability gonna look like though? Chain mace, a bit too much because we're already animating the effect on this, plus the back bling, plus the wands. Make his hand glow. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what the effect might look like though. You know? And I want to make it visual too. Like, I don't want to make it just like he has like a beam that he shoots, and if there's 3 of them, it's just like a thicker beam. I want it to be like you see the numbers represented, you know? Whether it be, if it's 3 wands, it's 3 explosions, you know? Boom, boom, boom. If it's 3 wands, maybe it's 3 slices that come down, or, you know what I mean? Water covering his hand while he uses his ability is going to take a lot of time, animation time. Let me think. Hold on. Oh, I opened the wrong one again. Hold on, I have an idea. I think. I have an idea. Don't worry, they're not going to be black holes. It's not doing what I'm thinking in my mind. It's not what I'm thinking. Maybe the sticks have a corruption type effect, like the more wands, the darker his hand is. I was thinking of something like that. Yeah, I don't know if I want to just do raw effects. I feel like it needs to be melee somehow, since... No, it doesn't have to be melee, because that's establishing the power of it. We're so close. These are going to be the multipliers, growing more on his back every time he gets an elimination. That's done. It's just establishing this last part is important. Anything he touches or punches will wither, but the wands amplify strong. Wither is hard to illustrate as well. Maybe he only summons 1 orb where he does something, and the wands multiply the number of orbs. Yeah, that's the general idea. Is like whatever it is, it's going to multiply whatever this effect is. So if he has some sort of like orbish attack, the wands are going to establish how many of those orbs there are going to be. Yeah, the sticks fighting up close, you can use them as melee weapons too. Fights up close and using them as multipliers. Yeah, yeah. It's something, we're really close. Scythe swings? Like he swings his scythe and it creates like a slash effect in the distance, making it a ranged attack. I just love the idea of seeing him do an action, and then it's like effect, 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 based on the number of wands. We're so close. It's so close. Man. Yeah, we've done acid stuff. We just did a poison effect. We've actually done it fairly recently with Lucid. He's got poison damage. So does Ren's. They're fairly recent. What if he puts them in both hands? Can I make a weapon out of the wands? No, that's not it. I desperately want to make a weapon here of some kind, and it's this effect that's creating the other effect. I keep going to a scythe. I don't know why, but I don't think that's it either. A mallet? No. Sword's kind of weird because these are kind of that, and it just doesn't really apply. I do feel like it's some kind of effect, though. But I don't necessarily want all of my attacks to be effects-based. One bigger one, on the other hand. What about a whip? A whip would be cool, but a whip is really hard to animate effectively. Maybe the effects is just trails every time he swings the wand. Harpoon? Harpoon? We're circling back. And the wand is the number of wands is the number of shots that are shot out? Okay, I see something. Let me get this out of my brain. Hold on. Hold on. What if he has this staff-like wand? This is his weapon, his melee weapon, but the number of staffs or wands that he chooses will shoot out X number of kunai that will come out like strings. Like they're gonna come out attached to this. So imagine he shoots a target. Imagine he's standing here like this. He pulls out 3 wands. He aims his staff, and you just see the kunais come out at the target, and they're attached to the staff still. So he could pierce the target, and they'll stick, and then he can get rid of the wands. Will as he casts it, the wands will disappear. It amplifies the number of kunai. It would be number of kunai. That's what it would be. It'd be the number of them that come out. So he has a staff that's basically has like a kunai shotgun at the end of it. So he's melee, but he also has like a get over here from Mortal Kombat that he can establish the number of kunai that come out of it based on the number of wands he pulls out of his back. Maybe I can illustrate the different stages of the wands disappearing like that. Yeah. I wish I could, like, I don't have a lot of space now. To illustrate them coming out, like being shot out. It wouldn't be sequential order. They're all coming out at the same time. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Kunai shooting staff with amplifying wands. I almost don't know if I want them to be piercing weapons, though. What if they're these, like, goopy... You know, you remember when you were a kid there was those like hands that you could get that would like stick to the wall. What's up, Maniac? How you doing, buddy? I kind of like this. And the number of wands is the number of ones that shoot out. That does look like a frog's foot. Yeah, it shoots out a sticky orb, and the number of wands amplify the amount. Do I like sticky, though? I don't know that I like sticky. Sticky is an effect that isn't super visual, other than, like, you know, it's hard to move around. It's, like, grippy. I'm fighting the urge to make these orbs explode on impact, you know? I'm really fighting the urge for them to, like, explode on impact instead. What if they're like little grippy guys? They like grip your face. Going back to like the grappling hook idea. What if these things like literally grab onto you? Like imagine shooting at a guy's head and then like they like wrap around the head. They like grab the stick figure's head. Like if this is the head, they land and they go like this. Yeah, and these are the wands that spawn them. It would allow him a way to gap close. Yeah, face hugger, basically. They would be simple to animate because they're just a circle with simple little limbs. And the target is presumably... Dude, imagine if he grabs like it's a big boss fight, and you just see him just take like half of his back off of him, or his entire back, and he just shoots it like a huge shotgun, and you just see like 30 of these things fly out. The more wands he uses, the more creatures she shoots out. The more wands he grabs, the more creatures he shoots out. And if every takedown he gets, he grows another wand out of his back. So it's like if he can kill people without using any wands or any of his creepers with his staff, which is this right here, then he'll spawn more out of his back. So again, the visual is like you see him fighting in combat and he hasn't used like any of his creepers, his little sticky goobers. He'll look like this. And you don't want that coming at you. That would look gnarly. And how they spawn, how they despawn once shot is the same way they spawn. So as he gets a new one added to his back, it'll start out knockout, then it'll go to regular glow or really powerful glow, and then back down to the regular glow. And it'll be really easy to animate them as well. I think that's it, dude. I actually really like that. I think that's gonna be sick. Can I make them cool? Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. Later, OP. Thanks, man. Yeah, we're here. We've arrived. Not a strong color as his skin. I think on the target, it's going to be really striking. Like, it's going to match really well. I don't like using too many colors for a character, because you got to think there might be blood effects going on as well. So if you keep it similar or very simplistic in colors, even if your brain is getting lost in the sauce of all the action, you can still kind of grasp what's happening. So I think this is fine. Plus, this is probably going to be a strong striking color against most creatures' bodies. So other black stick figures, red stick figures, any color really, this is going to stand out pretty strong. And worst case scenario, I could probably add a little bit of a glow to these bad boys. And that's also going to make them stand out a little bit. Yeah, I think this is sick. This is a cool character. Yamaha. This is cool. I think that's it, dude. I love this one. Same. So what is this? And this is going to be the same alien species as Rajamations. He's not a heavy, though, per se. He will be... I think he's more of a fighter. He's not as much of a heavy as Rajamations is with the big two-handed scythe, but the staff is like a slower, heavier hitting staff, and that's why he has this ranged attack. So I'm trying to think of this guy's tagline, or a quick tagline for him. I'm like amp wand. Wands of power. Wands of many. Yama's so sick. My stick would get rolled, but it'd still be dope fight. Yeah, this would be so fun to animate. Because I would feel like every enemy I take down, I'd get excited to add another stick to my back. I'd be like stoked that it's happening, you know what I mean? I'm looking for a specific glow. Yeah, right here. This is what I want. I don't want it as big. This adds like a little bit of a gradient to like the darkness in the back here, which I think is cool because it looks like it's adding a little bit of depth and shadow to it. Just watching him stack sticks on his back gradually makes for good anticipation. It does. It does. I like visually striking things like that. Wands of many. Takedowns add wands to back. I'm gonna call them creepies. Creepies shot from staff. Attached to enemy. Number of wands held in offhand. I'll fix this. Establish how many creepies are shot. Takedown, takedowns, add wands to back. Creepies shot from staff attached to enemy. I wonder if I can fit this in the same line. And we just take this to like 5, 6, perfect. Number of wands held in offhand establish how many creepies are shot. I think that's perfect. Wait. Number of wands held in offhand. Consume wands. Consume held wands. And establishes how many creepies are shot. That's it. Man, he's got a lot of text, though. I guess he just takes up a lot of space, is what it is. He's really using the whole space. Can I shrink him a little bit? I think we shrink him a little bit to fit. We pull Yamaha up a little bit more. Yeah. Let's make sure this makes sense and is correct. Already so many cool and intimidating poses I can imagine it with. I know, right? What's up, Brax? Wands of many. Takedowns add wands to back. Creepies shot from staff attached to enemy. Number of wands held in offhand. Consume held wands and establishes how many creepies are shot. Consume held wands. Can I add how on this line? I'm trying to just make up a little more space. Once held in offhand. Consume. Wait. Consume. Number of hands in offhand. I would say number of hands in offhand. Actually, I wrote this wrong. Establishes how many creepies are shot and consumes those held wands. There we go. Yep. Establishes how many creepies are shot and consumes those held wands. Creepy shot from staff attached to enemy. They gotta say what they do, because as it stands right now, don't even know what that means. They just attach, which isn't very descriptive. Attach to enemies and grapple and restrict. Creepies, grapple, and restrict. There we go. Because just because they attach to the enemy doesn't mean that means anything for what they're actually doing. Okay. Maybe we just have to do that. What do you guys think? Takedowns add wands to back. Creepies shot from staff attached to enemy. Creepies grapple and restrict. Do I have to put restrict movement? No, because just restrict. They could be restricting vision, they could be restricting your arms, movement, legs. So they grab you. Number of wands held in offhand establish how many creepies are shot and consumes those held wands. I think restricted is fine. I think Yamaha is done. What do you guys think? Looks good. Okay, I think we're done. And this also establishes Rajamations as a species, whatever these are. We'll figure out names for these later, like the different... There's creature types. This is an alien creature type. So is Gloopy. Gloopy is also an alien creature type, but Gloopy is now like a thing. It's a Gloopy, right? Whoa. So we'll figure out a name for what Gloopy's species is, and then we'll figure out what Rajamation's species is. But I think once we have two of something, it becomes a species. At least in my mind, that's how it is. And I'm making up the rules, right? So who cares? That works for me. Okay. This is Yamaha. Paste. Now we have to establish, is Yamaha Neptune or is Yamaha Ultra Savior? Neptune or Ultra Savior? What do you guys think? Neptune or Ultra Savior? What team is he on? Savior? Ooh, Neptune. Team Evil Bastard. I definitely know that Roger Mason's is Neptune. Looks pretty Neptune. A bit of a toss-up. Some of you are saying we got one Savior, a couple Neptune. What do you guys think? Let me know. Neptune, though. I'm leaning Neptune. But I still want to hear what you guys think. Neptune, yeah. Yeah, I agree with what Mr. Guy says. He should be with his species unless he gives off a different vibe, which he doesn't. Or isn't. Yeah, very Neptune. Neptune it is. And Neptune takes the lead again with 33. Chronicles up next. The ticks restricting movement doesn't feel like more antagonist move than more heroic. Yeah. Yeah, restriction doesn't seem very hero-y unless the restriction looks like it's to like apprehend and not kill. But his mechanic is quite literally takedowns makes him stronger. So this culture, this alien culture is going to be very wrapped around like getting kills to getting kills is going to be like a key to their success for being strong. Encina is strong, right? Okay, I'm gonna go take a quick break and go to the bathroom. I'm gonna leave you guys with some no break for a little bit. I will not be long. You definitely won't finish no break.
Simply put, when in telegrams,
But give me just a moment. We'll come back and make some more. We're gonna move on to Chronicle up next. But watch some no break for me. Oh my, dude, bro, that's ridiculous. I got another ad just because I skipped backwards to the beginning. Watch some no break for me, and I will be right back. Does it work if I maximize? What's it gonna look like? Yeah, I'll be right back. I shall be right back.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want. I like to add the action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I add my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
I am returned. Thank you for your patience. We shall continue. Oh my god, you guys got trapped in an ad? Yucks. Thank you, No Break, for this short, brief, literal break. Okay. Chronicle is next. Did I export Yamaha? I need to add Yamaha to the mountain. Hold on. I don't think I added Yamaha to the mountain. I did not. Dunskies. Dunskies, New Brunskies. Okay. We are moving on. Chronicle is up next. Later, BDF. And brought half the grocery store with her. Okay, Chronicle. What do we need? We need grab the head and reset the stage. And break this. Let's grab ourselves a new color. Another green. Okay. Sure. Why not? Another green. Okay. Where am I at here? Where are you guys? I think this is you guys. Nope, that's not you guys. There you are. I found you. When did Noah comment? Nova's number 86. Number 86. Chronicle. Okay, let's start off with some shapes, then we'll work on the name. I don't know. I tried to grab everyone. Sometimes comments don't load. I don't know. I'll be doing another check. I'll do another check on my list. Like I had my biggest issue has been going and finding people on the list and then replying with their comments. Sometimes when I load up, I don't even get all the comments. It's stupid. And they're not in chronological order either. They're hyper random. Okay. Is that accurate? Oh no, his head size is wrong here. Because we shrunk him down. Yeah, he's shrunk down slightly. His head's easy to grab. Or so I thought. There we go. I'll check again tonight, Modern Jack. See if I can slide you in somewhere. Okay. Chronicle. Chronicle. Which is to record something. Like a story, right? Or Chronicle is a story? Chronicle I feel like is recording something. Let's figure it out. Hold on. What does Chronicle mean? Maybe it'll give me ideas. Factual written account of important historical events in order of their occurrence. Okay. Oh, your name is Origino? Okay. No, I get you, I get you. Let me see then, because I feel like I've written that. That seemed familiar though. I guess not. Yeah, I'll have to check later tonight then. I definitely feel like the FQTRXY, that part seems familiar to me. Let's see. We're just doing poses. It's kind of robotic. It feels kind of robot-y. Why? I don't know. Origin of Caturxi? God. Oh, that would be where I heard it. Okay, okay. Doing poses. Is he reading something? Maybe he has a book in it, an open book in his hand? Rise style? I feel like that's overdone now. Like the mage with a book in his hand. Maybe if the book is on his back. People don't say Caturxi? Weird. A book bag? I feel like he has a literal book on his back. Like, let me see if I can do it where it makes somewhat sense. Like, I literally almost see this. You know what I mean? Maybe we can figure out what this book means or does. Chronicle is to record.
Come on.
Ooh, I don't like that at all. Maybe he has a book and he can slightly change something in his favor. Maybe. You think he'd look smart? Where's the book go? Where and how does the book go?
Yeah.
Is it a shield? A book shield?
Come on.
I don't know about that. I kind of like the idea of the book back bling. But why? Maybe he has more than one. Maybe they're wings. Book wings. Should it be another avian? Is there a book avian we could do? It's a random color generator. I'm trying to find you guys. I lost you guys. There we go. A nerd bird? Oh, I like that a lot. Origami weapons, perhaps. Remember, these birds are not like normal birds. His face isn't like that. Remember, in Stone's universe, the beak isn't actually part of their face. It's more of a part of their face. See what I mean? Waddle duck. And the less pages he has in the book makes them unable to fly. What if... Can I layer this a little bit? To where it's like this, maybe? Yeah, the beak isn't like the actual head. They are still avian. They're still bird-like. But, because like if you look back to, Crow for Crow, his face is right here. The beak comes out the side. That's still his face. Because this is Stone's universe. It could be anything I want. And in the stick figure world, you don't want a guy that has to face one way or the other all the time. That's awful. You know what I mean? Because then it's like he has one eye right here, and he's always facing away and towards the screen. We don't do very much towards the screen as a stick figure. You know, it's just not what we do. We don't do a lot of towards the screen action. We do, but not that much. And I don't want orientation to be a restricting factor. Chronicle? Chronicle will probably be the name when we rename, because we have to go through a rename period. I like this. Flight with the bookcases I don't think will be hard. I don't think it'll be hard to do flight with books. Because again, these are like rotatable objects. I don't think it'll be difficult to skew them. Okay. Now, what's a good weapon for him? We talked about like a pen or a pencil. We have secondary motion with the wings already. He has multiple books, or he's just spawning them. There are multiple books that are strung together in a mass, like they're all one piece, because these are his wings. They're books, but they're wings. Get it? They're like it's like his feathers are books. A crow does like shiny stuff, true. Kind of like TSC's pen, where he can make origami, like what Tick said. But I don't know that I want to make, like, draw origami things all the time, you know? He could be kind of like his brother and go with a sword of some kind. He has a sickle. Maybe he has a paper sword. A pen is kind of, I don't know, kind of boring, I guess. Because then it implies that you're going to be drawing something with it. I don't necessarily think that's the route we're going to go. What if he has an eraser shield? We could erase something that happened. I don't want to add anything into his offhand. I only want to stick with one item because we have to animate the wings. You know what I mean? Think about it animation-wise. You're going to have to animate these wings. One way or the other. So, I don't want to worry about the wings and an offhand plus his main hand. What if it's a roll-up scroll? You know what I mean? Later, Crossfire. See you, buddy. A rolled-up scroll, maybe? It's kind of a baton attack, I guess. Let's just see how it feels. Let's just see what it looks like. I might not like it, but that's okay. Let's see how it feels. Paper mache te. Thinking. See how I feel about this. Little duck. Yeah, it looks some more lines of a bat for sure. Which I don't hate. He can fly with the books. Is there something else he can do with the books, I wonder? Bat might be kind of boring. There's something more interesting I can do than a bat. A blade, a staff, an axe. Maybe something to do with history or books. Say search history in images. Doesn't even show up. Magnifying glass, compass. A magnifying glass is a weapon? Magnifying glass is kind of hard to use as a weapon. Looks like a lollipop in the end. A whip? Again, I don't know. Whips are kind of hard to do. It's less hard to do if there's something at the end of it, though. Because then you can, like, animate that thing around, and then you just connect the thing. Could this be something? I don't know. Trying different things here. What about something that has a fork to it? Trident type thing?
Imagine being able to build
A teacher kind of vibe? Would be a teacher weapon. A ruler? Feather origami daggers. I kind of like that. Paper daggers. Can I go all the way back to the beginning of my drawing? Yeah. Ink and quill. Like this. I don't want him to hand it. I don't want to have an offhand, but I see what you mean by ink and quill. The quill is essentially a feather, but you usually would hold it like that, and that's not going to be very pointed, you know? Our weapon's probably going to be more like this. Maybe it's just a feather blade. You know? It's a special feather blade. But how do we make this feather blade special? What's a property we can add to it that makes it unique? I think this would be literally like it's actually still a blade, but it's a feather. But it's still like it's sharp like a blade. You know what I mean? To tie with the book wings, maybe tears papers from it and he folds it to make the weapon. He could do that. That would be extra work to like animate that every time. Maybe as like flavor he does that. You know, like you could showcase him doing that sometime to show how he made his weapon. It's hard to make this seem like it's gonna do damage, though. You know, it's still drawn like a feather. Is there a way like I could take something from it to make it look more or less not feathery? He can control when the feather blade is hard and soft. He uses wind attacks like a fan, kind of like a fan blade almost. Now that's kind of pretty much lost all of its identity as being a feather at that point. I feel like if I could make the feather, it's got. I feel like the feather is too far away from his identity somehow. Maybe if it was like kind of his coloring, it would come off like part of his identity. Give it a little glow just for separation. Maybe. Kind of looks like a leaf now, though. I don't know. I feel like it's not a feather. I feel like the feather's the wrong play. Later, Maniac. We're close, dude. I don't want to use a sickle, because the other guy uses a sickle. They'd be the same character. Yeah, all of his feathers got ripped off, and that's the one he has left. And it's similar to, like, the issue with Crow for Crow. Maybe all of the Crow for Crow culture, like, was attacked. Like, the entirety of Crow for Crow species was attacked, and so they lost, like, they took like heavy casualties type thing. I have an idea. Let me just get it out of my brain. Like, it's like really beat up. This is his, it's one of his feathers, but much like Crow for Crow, it's like the only feather he has left, right? And he fashioned the knowledge that he got out of those books to make himself have his wings back by fashioning the books into these magical wings for himself. But what's special about his wings? He has a wing weapon, but what is special about it? Is there an effect that it has? Like, is it on fire? What did Crow for Crow have? Crow for Crow was wind. Yeah, Crow for Crow controlled wind. What would Chronicles do? Controlling fate is kind of hard to illustrate in physical animation, you know? Something physical. Like a we want a physical effect that can be visually shown. Visually shown, visually displayed. Try to use my thinking. I don't know if the single line is necessary here or not. Maybe it's necessary. Let's see. Nah, I think I ruined it. I like the silhouette by itself. Yondu's arrow. Burning ink trims off the feather. That's interesting. He can fly. He's a part of the avian culture. And I'm trying to figure out what his wing here does. His power is going to come into play here outside of flight with how he uses this feather. It's his last feather. You get pictures of a chair? What? He's green. I don't want to do poison. Maybe he has vines? Maybe he has grippy vines that come from it? No. We're close, though. Just drawing shapes. What is going on? My pressure sensitivity seems whack. I guess it's not that whack. We're so close. What if it's multiple? Doing multiples is always fun. Can I make it look cooler with multiples? Maybe. Nah. Maybe vines come off feather, grab. That's kind of like Rosk, I think. Wait, are his books feathers? Kind of. What if he uses his feather as an arrow? As a spear? Because an arrow by itself is a spear, essentially. A spear might be interesting. Instead. Because the silhouette on that feather is pretty awful, I'll be honest. But if we went something like this, it's going to be a much more striking silhouette, the spear. What would make his spear special, though? I like the idea of a spear because I've only used spear once, one other time. But I wonder what a spear could be. How his spear is special. What does his spear do that makes it unique? I like that it's visually more striking. The silhouette is stronger. Now they can say that the ink, yeah, ink tip. Okay. Okay, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. I have an idea on how to do this. Check this out. Something like that, maybe. Splashes off the spear and burns. Burning, maybe. I'm not sure if I like the burning effect by itself. I don't want to do poison again. We've done a lot of poison already. But I like the idea of the ink now, as book Chronicle ink. Paralysis is boring, you know. A stick figure being unable to move. We like visual stuff. Things that can be visual, if we can. If you could write letters for an attack, that might be a little excessive. You know, like imagine you're writing words to attack when you could just stab somebody with it, right? It's a cool concept, though. The value of the drawings would have to be something. Minions, I wouldn't want to do minions because I think in this case there's a lot of weight already in this character animating his wings, whether you're using them or not. They're fairly simple, but you know what I mean? If you're having summons on top of your weapon, on top of your animating your wings, it could be kind of heavy. But we're there. We're here. The ink has to do something, though. Like, we have arrived at our destination. but the tipped ink has to do something. Can I make it black? I don't like that. Maybe you can link back to his name. You can simply control the ink and how it acts, making tendrils. Yeah, that might be cool. What if it's sticky? The ink, like, can attach to people. So he could like stab, they go back, and the ink is inside of them, and he can pull them forward. You know what I mean? Like he stabs, the ink's inside of them, and it's almost like it spreads. It almost acts like a rubber, almost, and a liquid rubber. Like, imagine this is a stick figure, right? Yeah, kind of like tar. I like that. Because, like, let's say... Let's get a stick figure down here. Let's make him dark gray so he still can be seen as different than that. And let's make it seem like he was taken down by... What? What is going on, bro? It's lagging again. It's 100% lagging. I'm on my preset brush. What are you talking about? Okay, there we go. Is it good now? That's cool. An ink that acts like tar. So it's a spear that has ink that acts like tar. What do you guys think of that? And it kind of, you know what? It kind of fits in with like the bird theme, because you know how birds get stuck in like oil spills and stuff. It's kind of like he's taking revenge on the people maybe that attacked his environment, and he's adapted it. I think that's sick. Could these books be dirty to somehow? Wait a minute. I agree. That's why I'm trying to tie them in, I think, right now. What? Make these a solid color. What are you doing? Like, it wasn't making them a solid color for whatever reason. Yeah, maybe they're magical tar books. You know, like he was the chronicler before, but during this like oil spill that destroyed his culture, he learned how to adapt them into a weapon. Yeah? Oh, you jerkhole. What do you guys think of that? Helps kind of tie in his theme better now. Now it's rocking, yeah. True, it looks like it's holding the books together. Maybe that's why it is holding the books together. Yes, that's exactly it. And see, then using the wings could be done like this. You know, subtle little like. You just place them right here. You can do subtle little waves like that. Same thing with this, like this. Flapping it's going to be a challenge though. I guess you would just create a separate frame for them for that. A separate wave state for them. I don't think it's that bad. I can make them smaller too. I think they're taking up a lot of space. Yeah, that's a little bit more reasonable. What's up, Neptune? I wonder if there's a way I could add his feathers somewhere in here, kind of? To show, like, that he had feathers kind of in here. And they're trapped in here, maybe? This might not work at all. I'm just experimenting a little bit. Like they're covered in oil. Let's see. They're stuck to these books. Oops. That doesn't work on the other one. Nah, I don't think that's necessary. I think that's doing too much. Let's just cluttering it now at this point. Just flatten and stretch them? Yeah, it's possible. I think it could be done with skewing just fine. I think you'd be able to get away with skewing it. I mean, hear me out. Do we need to bother with the books at all? Do we just go with oil slicked wings? Like, the only thing keeping us in the book category at all is simply the fact that his name is Chronicler. If we didn't care too much about that fact, we could just give him wings that are covered in ink or oil, and it's more so about the fact that he is, and then he'll be more in line with Crow for Crow. You know what I mean? I think that makes more sense, and it looks cooler too. I think I kind of like that better, honestly. Like, the book is a cool idea, but I think it fits better. The story was with the Chronicle with the oil spill, true, but it ends up being more of a spear. Like, you'd have to explain that it's a that you'd have to, like, verbally have to tell the viewer that it's not just a spear. It's a, you know, an ink and quill. But this is like, okay, well, it's like tar and oil, and it kind of would go and coincide with the concept of them having been taken over, and that's why, you know, that's why Crow for Crow wants revenge and such. And what's one big thing that faces birds with humans is definitely like the oil and tar spills. Not tar spills, but oil spills, you know? Let's see what this looks like. I just want to see what this feels like. Yeah, like, it's really cool thematically, but I think it's gonna get lost on people, whereas this won't. You know, and I think this coincides really well. He's got those oil-spilled wings. Yeah, I feel like this is... I think this is very in line. I liked the book idea. Flapping them kind of started to feel nightmarish. I think with the wings, you get a lot more... Oh man, it's lagging. With the wings, you get a lot more leverage to be like, the shape doesn't have to stay consistent. Books look like books. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to be able to get away from the non-flexibility of the fact that it's 3 books and 3 books. This is the one chat? What? Books sure do hell look like books. You know what I mean? Like, I could change the number of feathers here. I could scribble them. Like, I could do a quick, like, smear frame to get them into the down position like this. And flap them down like that, right? And I won't have to, it won't have to be perfect 3 books and 3 books. It's very rigid shape, versus these can be, like, played around with very, in an easy way. And the covered of ink is so haphazard and random, it doesn't have to be perfectly covered like the other ones would have been. It's still a really cool idea, but I think thematically this fits better. And also people will be like, oh wait, is this like from Crow for Crow? I love gooey stuff like this. Oil Man? I love scribbling. Tarbirdie. I almost want to see if I go a little bit darker here. Yeah, a little more separation from the character. There we go. Tarbird. Oil tips. Oil pointed. Oil tipped. Tarbirdie is good too. I like Tarbirdie. Tartip bird. Tartip, is there a T word for another bird? I would say Tartip terror. Spear tipped with infinite tar oil. Oil can spill out and ensnare enemies. I mean, I guess that's all you really need to write, because you just have to imagine that he's able to fly. I don't think I should have to put the guy with wings is able to fly. I'm hoping that's visual enough that you get that he can fly. Spear tip with infinite tar oil. I think I just put tar, because tar is oil. Tar can spill out and ensnare enemies. Yeah. What do you guys think? Chronicle. He's part of another avian. Now, Neptune, what do you guys think? I think he's pretty much good at this point. We need to establish, is he Neptune or Ultra Savior? What do you think? Is Chronicle Neptune or Ultra Savior? A fight with one fire enemy can end him, true. Also, an enemy, a fire enemy on his as an ally would also be strong. That's fine if I didn't spell it right there. It's whatever, it's the movie clip. Oh, I think I did. He does have revenge in his heart, much like Crow for Crow. Chronicle definitely seeks revenge. And he's another ensnarer. Take a good look at him. Neptune or Ultra Savior? He feels Neptune to me. He's got revenge in his heart. His ability, like, makes people struggle, you know? I feel like he's Neptune, man. These avians, they have a chip on their shoulder. I think Neptune's a good fit. He struggles so he makes everyone else feel his pain, yeah. He's got that revenge in him. I feel like Chronicle's gonna be a Neptune. A good candidate for Neptune. Where does that put us on Neptune? 34. Which again, these don't have to be even. It's about what the characters come out to. not what not having to keep it balanced by any means. All right, so we created Lucid, Yamaha, and Chronicle. 3 really solid characters tonight. I like them a lot. Kind of similar. Poison tip, grapplers, you know, ensnare, poison damage, you know. Not, I mean, I guess there's not tons of theme in that, but kind of similar tonight, but I think these are really solid characters. We got another, we also added to our species. Duos are going to go hard for sure. We added, actually each one of these spawned these other characters having now species, because now we have another Gloopy, we have another Rajamations, alien culture, and then we also have now an addition to the avians with Crow for Crow and Chronicle. It's also nice that they're both C, Crow for Crow and Chronicle. I think that's cool. What do you guys think? Did these work out good for tonight? Let's go ahead and drop these on the mountain. Chronicle's sick. They're good. I think we cooked this batch. Yeah, this was solid. And also doing 3? We did 3 in how long? Where are we at right now? 3 in 3 hours? Oh my god, dude. We had a terrible pace tonight. 1 per hour. Are you joking? 1 per hour. We still have 24 more to go. But that was in the Pokedex. Chronicle is number 67. 67, 66, 65. Can people with existing Archie still join? Absolutely. I don't see any reason why not. Again, these are honorary RHG characters. You know what I mean? Is there an insect race? I think the only insect we have is Tick. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tick. I think Tick is the only bug. It would be cool to get some more bugs in here, though. Maybe we work on a bug. Yeah. Okay, I have them up on the mountain. I will try and see if I can update my list again. There's definitely some more people that have been added to the list since I last did it. Again, I don't really care about updating my list until I finish where I'm at, but if I can find one that's like a mistake that I found, like I didn't grab someone on the last pass, I'll see if I can fix that for Katurksi. But yeah, pretty soon you're gonna start seeing some animations for these guys as well. I want to start getting some little shorts going, so I might go back and forth to where I slow my pace on creating more characters and start getting some of these guys coming to life, you know, even to just short little tests, you know, showing Ross hanging out with the onion, stuff like that, because I could do some really cool tests with these to get them going. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's so many, dude. Oh my god. What's crazy is this when you look at this, I feel like this doesn't look like, I feel like this doesn't look close to 70. This is close to 70 characters. Does it look like 70 to you? It looks 40, 50, yeah, right? Yeah, Modern, I'll check on it. It does and doesn't at the same time. I know, right? It certainly is. I went one by one down the list. I honestly wouldn't believe it if there wasn't an Excel with every name outlined. Actually, I could check this real quick to see if I did duplicates on accident. If there's somehow accidentally duplicates, there'll be double names. Nope. No double names. Not that I see, anyways. Yeah, no double names. Crazy. Yeah, no duplicates. That's the only other way that it'd be a mistake. What's up, Mollis? Yeah, it's weird. They're also really clustered in this area, too. Like, there's like 8 per row here. 8 to 9 per row. Yamaha. Yeah, tonight's characters are going to be so fun to animate. Lucid, all super bouncy with dual blades and like a poison effect that you can put on everything. Yamaha, shooting out little grappling creepies, grabbing out sticks, or grabbing out wands. Every character has been memorable, and you can go through and explain all of them. It's so cool. I certainly can. My personal favorite right now from design is probably Razor Teeth. See, I think that's so cool. I feel like everyone's gonna have their own personal favorite, kind of like Pokemon, you know? Like, there's so many different ones that there's a design that speaks to somebody. And not everyone's gonna be like, oh, I just like Charizard, you know? Everyone's gonna have their own character, I feel like, that speaks to them or they identify better with or might feel more fun to them. Still a fan of Lemonio? Yeah, dude. Lemonio is really good. I feel like the lore on some of these characters written out, some of them are definitely easier to write for than others. Like, Lucid would be hard to write for. Lemonio, like, there's already so many details about him that I feel like I can make a story around him pretty easily. Very easily around the 3 brothers. The Lemonio, Doot, and Rosk. I feel like I can make a whole series that follows those 3. Anything that has any sort of shape-shifting abilities, different winner in my favorite list. Do we have any shapeshifters here? I don't know that I have any shapeshifters. I mean, well, I guess Jelly Jam and Pan Boutelli are kind of shapeshifters because they are altering their actual shape. I guess similarly with Hobble Lobble Bobo, they're kind of shapeshifters. Here. I wouldn't say Waddle Duck. Waddle Duck just reacts to being hit. MJ Tron, dude. MJ Tron is like in a different category too. Remember, Vessel also, he doesn't have to have his tentacle arms out all at once, like all the time. And that's just him showcasing those tentacles on one side. He could definitely shoot them out, like both sides at the same time. Ohio Ski Buddy, dude. We will, like I said, have to go back and rename everybody. They're going to be similar, but that'll be a day that we'll have to go through and rename everyone as well. Because I don't want to use people's handles as actual character names. I forgot the dude's name. The guy with the unfinished sword is also a favorite of mine. Nick. The lousy sword. With the after image effect. Nick's lore goes hard too. Would love to animate for him or some of them. Dude, yeah. Vessel would be fun to animate. I think I'd have a hard time with Not Me because it's 2 things I'm not good at: fast and wit. Not intimidating enough? Dude, I think if you can see him and how I see him in my mind, he's a monster. 2, he's dual wielding large blades that he can also jump on for mobility to like scoot around. And then every time he hits you, it spawns a bunch of snowballs that aimbot hunt you down. So it's like smack, 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 and then like you have 5, 10, 15 snowballs that pop out, and then they hunt you down and hit you. And they'll have some kind of like small explosive effect, you know? Not like explosion, but they're gonna break when they hit you, and they're gonna hit you pretty hard. So it's like really overwhelming attacks. Yeah, he's gonna be really overwhelming to it. Like, he's gonna hit you a lot with 2 massive blades, and then on top of that, you're getting pelted non-stop. Aeroton would be overwhelming as well. I mean, a lot of these are gonna be nuts. Jay, every time he shoots you, all the gears coming out, and then they just load up into his big shot. Yeah, simple, but a multi-tool. And he's a fighter, so he has a little bit of mobility, but not a ton of mobility. And a little bit of range, but not a ton of range. Because his weapons also have pretty good range to them. Aeroton matchup against Bo Easy. Oh, yeah. That would be hilarious, actually. I wonder what the funniest matchups would be versus. It's almost harder to think about the funniest matchups that would be versus. It's almost easier to think about the funniest matchups if they were a duo. Like, think about the duo between Ohio Ski Buddy and Cashier. How many added effects are going to be on the screen? Each one of them, every time they make an impact, is having, like, this bonus particle explosion that's occurring, essentially. Rosk versus Neptune. Anyone versus Neptune is getting clapped, dude. Just one bop, then you just see the onion trying to get away and getting sucked into the black hole. Rosk's vines trying to, like, hold him, keep him grounded so he doesn't, like, get sucked into the black hole. You just see him getting sucked into the vines, desperately holding onto him, the blade in the ground, like, ugh, and little onionling getting sucked into it. Sandkid versus Waddle Duck. That's the duo. Dumb Animator and Waddle Duck versus Neptune and Ultra Savior, the final 1v1, the final 2v2. Hey, when the will is away, exactly. Spectre is still going to be so fun to animate, dude. People pulling the soul out of people using the Mace Lantern. That's going to be sick. I wonder if I'm going to do the chain. I think I'll do the chain the same way I did the chain on El Stevie here. A Simple Squid versus Jelly Jam? Dude, there's just splatters everywhere. The ground is just half Jelly Jam and half Simple Squid ink. Jelly Jam has to, like, jump the puddle to the next puddle. Like, the puddles are overlapping. And Jelly Jam versus Peanut Butter. Pan Butelli. They're the best duo. Oh my god, if Pan Butelli wins, he turns Jelly Jam into Peanut Mass. They're literally playing Splatoon, yeah. They are on the same side. Yeah, they're not going to 1v1. But I could do little cute little animations where they're doing like a short together, you know, they're making a PB and jelly sandwich or something. Yeah. Lots of nifty fights, yeah, 100%. And I feel like they give, like, the ideas fill themselves. All the clowns versus all the gloopies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, once we start getting, like, a nice cluster of the different species, there could be trios, there could be one culture versus another, you know? Maybe we end up getting a war in showing how the avians were attacked by, I don't know, something. Oh, maybe I should think about something like that, Modern Jack. I haven't thought about that yet. Maybe once I get the list completed or something. That might be cool. Yeah, because these are definitely, like, important assets. When I go to animate these, I'm literally grabbing this and putting it in my FLA because I want everything to match, you know? So we'll see about that. But I think that's going to be it for tonight, friends. It's pretty late. Human versus Avian versus Gloopy versus whatever else. I think I will be streaming for sure tomorrow, so be sure to look out for it. I might do a triple stream, you know, morning, afternoon, and evening. We'll see. I'd like to get like a good chunk of this list done tomorrow. Maybe, you know, make some nice progress on it right now. We got 3 done tonight. We're doing 1 per hour, which is nuts. I hope my new pace isn't 1 per hour. If we put in 6 hours tomorrow, you know, and I'm doing 2 per hour, we could get to almost in the 80s. You know, that'd be cool to get to the 80s. Get all these done tomorrow. Yeah. All right, my friends, thank you so much. We shall see you next time. Yeah, that's it. I love you. Have a great night. Bye. Bye. Bye.